up, guys? Your boy Showtime. Call me Josh Showtime, Papa Showtime, or just Showtime. It don't really matter. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. Follow me on social media on Instagram and Twitter at Papa Showtime, and also on Facebook at Josh Showtime. Man, let's get right into it, man. Let me tell you, I am completely befuddled. I am bamboozled, shocked, and anything else you can. I am so surprised. And the reason why is because we finally got an announcement that Jake freaking Paul, Problem Child, which is, I think, by the way, a bottom tier nickname is terrible, is fighting Anderson Silva in an 8-round boxing match at 187, which I think is very weird. I don't think about at 185. I wonder who. I would assume that's because of Jake, not because of Anderson. He's fought at 185 before. It's kind of weird. However, doesn't matter. The fight is official. I called BS. For one, I recommended this fight last year. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. I legitimately name dropped Anderson before most people did. It wasn't after the Tyron fight. It was actually before the Tyron fight. I was like, man, if he really wants a good matchup, and if he does win this, he should probably fight Anderson. And Anderson is a boxer. He has boxed before and all this other good stuff. And lo and behold, I didn't think he would take it. But this fight announcement proves a few things. One, Jake Paul is about every life that he says he is. You have to respect it, man. I have to respect him. I'm not a fan, probably would never be a fan per se, not of his fights. I don't think he's that good of a fighter. But I'm just not a Jake Paul guy. However, I 100% respect him. Like, to get into the ring with Tyron Woodley and then going into it and fighting Anderson Silva, you have balls. You are a fighter. Like you have to, most people ain't taking that. Let's keep it, Jake was rich before this. He ain't like a Conor McGregor who was poor coming up. He's not no freaking a GSP who committed his whole life into this. Like Jake Paul is a Disney star and a YouTube guy, and said, hey, I can knock people out that aren't good. And now he's fighting one of the greatest MMA fighters ever, and who's a very good boxer who grew up boxing. I mean, it's like I said, round of applause to Jake for taking this fight. I'm not gonna want to be these people who's gonna poo-poo on you and say Anderson's 50. Yeah, it's facts. He's always past his prime. All that stuff is facts. However, we've seen Anderson Silva fight recently. He still looks good. Is he the same? No, but he's by far he's better than Tyron. He's damn sure better than freaking Ben Askren. Like, that's not even close. And Nate Robinson, come on, we don't even need to talk about this. So, Jake is doing what he's supposed to do, which is leveling up each fight. And you have to respect that, and I do 100%. Now, that's probably where the appreciation is going to end, because now we actually have to talk about the actual fight. One, it's coming up very soon, so it's happening next month. So it's not going to be that much preparing for Jake. And there's a lot of things Jake has to prepare for when it comes to Anderson Silva. One, Anderson Silva switches stances. All right, he does it very easily, and he has power both hands. But he is primarily a southpaw when he boxes. That is something that Jake has not seen yet. Now, it's one thing to be a southpaw and suck. It's another thing to be a southpaw and pretty good. And now we have to also factor in that there's a lot of things that Jake has not seen yet. He might have seen it in sparring, but sparring and a real fight are two totally different things. And here's what he's finally gonna see. He's finally fighting somebody taller than him. I believe Anderson's 2 inches taller. Fighting somebody that's actually bigger than him. Yes, Hassan is bigger than both, but that fight never happened. Anderson is bigger than Jake Paul. Anderson Silva weighs around 220. Jake Paul weighs around 200. Right, so it's giving up a size. Reach. Also, he's giving up. I think Anderson has over 3 inches, 2 to 3 inches over reach on when it comes to him. So you got to really think, when you put in all these factors, there's not too many that are on Jake's side. Youth is his biggest one, and maybe he's quicker. Who knows? Maybe he might be a little quicker than Anderson. Everything else kind of goes towards Anderson in a big way, in my opinion. Power, I'm still gonna favor Anderson. I've seen Anderson knock out grown men, like bigger men, not 170 pounders. I've seen him knock out 205 pounders, like out cold. I've seen him freaking we're Anderson Silva stand. If you don't know who Anderson Silva is, and if you don't, I don't know how you don't. It's kind of weird. But if you don't know Anderson Silva, he has so many records in the UFC. He has the most title. Actually, I think he lost that. He has the most wins consecutively in the UFC at 16. He has the most finishes in championship fights, and most of those are by KO. Let's also throw that out there. And he is the longest reigning UFC champion ever. Granted, it really would have been John Jones, but John Jones got his belt stripped like 3 times, so it's Anderson Silva. And that record, like, that's gonna be hard for somebody to break that record. It almost got broken, but you realize MMA is MMA, and that makes you appreciate him a little bit more. So he's been a pro boxer before this stint that he's had before. I think he was 1-1 before he was even in the UFC. And one he got knocked out, and another one he knocked another guy out. And like I said, he's grown up in this boxing, this Muay Thai. So he's used to doing this. This isn't something that he just started training like Tyron. And the thing about Tyron and Ben, they're wrestlers and that try to box. And at the end of the day, Jake had a curve on both those guys, realistically. Because yes, they trained mixed martial arts, so they boxed, but that wasn't their primary focus. Jake has only been primarily focusing on boxing. At one stint, Anderson Silva was focusing on boxing, and he's done that before. And like I said, he kind of interchanges a lot. One thing about Anderson, he's very fluid in his movement. He has great head movement, and he's very disrespectful with his head movement. That's what got him knocked out by Chris Weidman. So I'm interested to see how much he's gonna fill out Jake. And is he gonna just go balls to the wall immediately? Which I don't think. That's not how Anderson operates. I think realistically, it's an 8-round fight. It's gonna take probably the first 2 rounds off and then try to pick them off. But we'll talk about really the in-depth details once it gets really close to the fight. However, we also have to factor in cardio. Jake doesn't have great cardio. He's probably not going to have great cardio for years because at the end of the day, you have to build your body to 8 rounds. That's not an easy fact. Like, that's not easy at all. Conor was a boxer. Was an MMA fighter. He's fought 25-minute rounds before, and he came into the UFC, came into boxing with a 10-rounder, and this guy was gassed after the 5th. Like, it's hard. It's difficult. You have to build your body up to that. I don't care how many times you spar. A real boxing fight is totally different from a sparring match. So yeah, it's gonna be very tough for Jake in so many avenues. And one, he's not outboxing Silva. That's just not happening. Can he knock out Anderson? Yeah, he can knock out Anderson Silva. Like, Anderson Silva is old. He's been knocked out before, and Jake does have power, so it's possible. But that's his only path to victory. He tries to throw combinations, try to outbox Anderson. He's gonna end up hurt. He's gonna end up probably getting knocked out. He's never fought a person that punches as hard as Anderson. Tyron punches hard, but the accuracy and the power that Anderson packs is something that that Jake has never felt before, and he probably won't feel unless he fights once again a real legit boxer. I'm excited for this. I'm actually gonna buy this fight. Kudos once again to Jake. You have balls, and you need to be respected when it comes to that, because a lot of people aren't taking this fight, and it's a very difficult fight. He should be the underdog in this fight. I'm not putting my money on Jake. Jake doesn't have that many paths to win. He's not good enough to beat Anderson. In reality, his one path is by power. So and fighting a person like Anderson, who is defensively sound when he wants to be. Like, the guy sometimes he but he'll allow people to punch him. But when he doesn't want to get punched, he's really good at evading 100% of your blows. So it's a very tough fight, man. And it also, if you look at Jake Paul's previous fight, even in the flash knockout, the crazy knockout that he got on Tyron, that fight was terrible. Like, Jake didn't look good at all. Like, at all. It was a boring fight. These guys both were holding each other. There were just so many issues within that particular fight. And it wasn't 100% Jake's fault. It was some on Tyron's. But he ain't gonna have that with Anderson. All right, so I'm excited. Once again, you're gonna try to put your weight. You can't put your weight on Tyron because Anderson's bigger, stronger, more likely gonna be able to put his weight on you, which is gonna wear you out more, wear your arms out more. Your setup, which was obviously fake it to the body by going low and then going high. I'm not saying it wouldn't work against Anderson Silva. You're gonna need some better tricks than that. That's just not gonna work because Tyron was also tired. Anderson ain't gonna be tired at that point. And once again, even if he was, he knows how to roll. So I'm not gonna change my opinion from now till then. It's only a month, and I already know the capabilities of Silva. However, I'll say this: if he knocks out Silva and somehow outboxes him, which once again I don't think that's really possible, but I do think he's possibly can knock him out. If he knocks out Anderson Silva, you're hearing it from me right now. He gets all the credit in the world. I am not gonna sit here and poo-poo on him because he knocked out a 47-year-old. Yes, Anderson is old and past his prime, but I've seen him fight too recently. I've seen him do too many good things, even fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., for me to sit here and just say, oh, he's 47. Yeah, but he looked good his last fight. So, I'm sorry. And he still is better than Tyron. And he will throw combinations unlike Tyron. He will have good footwork, know how to set traps, know how to evade, also know how to get into shots. And sometimes he won't even need to go in because that's another thing that Tyron struggled with, closing the distance. He was fighting a guy that's taller, got longer reach. He didn't know how to get inside, especially via boxing. Anderson don't have to do that because he's a taller, bigger fighter. So and he can still fight inside. It's going to be tough for Jake, and I cannot wait to see it because if he comes through with this, he's going to talk all the poo-poo in the world, and I'm telling people like me and the UFC fans, we're going to be heartbroken, and we should be heartbroken, and he's going to have every right to brag. So, you know, I already said if he beats him, then he need to fight Israel Adesanya. Then if he beats him, then honestly, he owns the UFC at that point. But we already know he'll die. But as always, man, I want to hear what you guys think, man. Thank you guys for watching. This your boy Showtime, and as always, stay blessed.